Here tonight. So I'm here tonight from National Learning Network. My name is Anne-Marie MacDonald and I'm the Head of Programme and Service Design in National Learning Network. And it is a great pleasure to talk about all things National Learning Network and all the opportunities there are for young adults to access different options in education and training. But while we're here today to talk about school leavers, I do also want to remind people that it is learners of all ages are welcome. So please get in touch no matter what age you are. So let me try and move on. So, National Learning Network, for people who may not be as familiar with us, we are the Education and Training Division of the Rehab Group. And we've got a very good footprint around the country. You can see from the map there, lots of different locations. So hopefully wherever you are, we are quite close to you. We have 34 main training centres, but we have some smaller satellites. So there's about 55 locations around the country. So we're in urban and rural locations. And our education and training options are primarily funded by the HSE and by the 16 education and training boards. So our rehabilitative training and our day services are funded by the HSE, and our specialist vocational training options, they are funded by each education and training board, so the 16 education and training boards. So we always like to take this opportunity to thank our funders for their support as well in our work. So National Learning Network, while it is a specialist training provider, we work primarily with people with disabilities and with health conditions. It's a really, really diverse group of people. So diverse in relation to when we talk about disability with autistic students, students with intellectual disabilities, physical sensorial needs. It's also diverse in just what our student population looks like on each of the campuses. You will meet people from 16 to 65. People come to National Learning Network for different reasons. So for some people, it is their first time maybe dipping into formal education. And for other people, perhaps they have education, but they are returning to us for maybe a different approach to education, while maybe also focusing on mental health and well-being and recovery. Work history is diverse among our student base. For some people, having a work experience placement for the first time is why they're coming to us. For other people, it's looking at, I totally need to change my job area that I was in because I've had an accident and now that work no longer suits me. So lots of different reasons why people are there with us. And then we're diverse in relation to just our own strengths, I suppose, and that's what's one of the lovely things, isn't it, about any college and any campus. We're also different in the things that we are really great at. We're all maybe different in the levels of support. Some of our students may use a personal assistant at different times during the day, or maybe somebody to support in relation to communication needs. But that level of diversity is celebrated within the campus. I think that's one of the things that's very important about us. And I suppose we're all different in, like, when we talk about it, we're all different why we came to National Learning Network. So also our choices and preferences in how we plan our education is a little bit different. So it's really important to us that there's a sense of belonging because there's such difference in our student body. So we've about over 40 different types of further education and training programs. And we have, I suppose we really are, I suppose, outward looking is how I'd describe it. So when we meet students, we plan for life after National Learning Network as well. So a focus on employment skills, and like that can be through work placement, through employer-based training. It can be looking at, just career exploration, but always looking forward to employment and what employment might look like. We offer many different routes to further education, to higher education. And I think we've all seen that the apprenticeship route has grown as well. So looking at different pathways and how we can move into apprenticeship roles. All our programs offer certification. And the language I've here, it's probably not the best I've worded it here. So our certification is appropriate to the labour market. A much nicer way I should have said that is the certification we offer is recognised by employers. And for students leaving school, the certification we offer can help you build on what you have. It can also help you move up a level from what you have. National Learning Network, it's very important that our student supports, that we really talk about our student supports, because the education and training is just one part of it. It's how we support people with all their plans to help them be successful as students. So I'll talk a little bit more about the team as we go further on. We've class sizes are small. So it's not like going into a big university. It's where you're nervous and wondering about, you know, are you going to make friends? Are you going to meet people? They're small classes. So positive in lots of ways, in that you'll get more individualized support on your education and training journey, but also it's small class sizes for getting to know people, getting to know your staff, getting to know the tutors, getting to know student support officers, and getting to know the other students and making friends. So I think that's a really important thing. And also continuous intake. So there's no need to wait for a start of term. There's no need to be building yourself up for that big September start or any New Year's resolutions where you're going back. You start when you are ready to start. And that would be the best way to describe it. And you'll see here that we offer accreditation that's recognised like QQI, City and Guilds, ICGL. All our HSE funded services are delivered in line with the interim standards of New Directions as well. So just some important things to note in relation to the quality of our services, and also how our education and training services compare to others market as well. So I'll tell you a little bit about the programs, and you can see some images from some of our courses here as well. So our training courses, they've different tiers, and I suppose that's just, it looks at what a person needs at a certain time within their life. So we call our access programs, and that's where a lot of young adults on our HSE funded services, our rehabilitative training. So a lot of people, when they're working with their day service opportunity officer, it may be looking at our access rehabilitative training. And that really, I've just finished yesterday. I was working with a group of students in Access, and one person gave me a really nice phrase, which I really like for describing the program. And he said, when he talks about it, he said it really helped him with adulting. So when he left school, he said that it was all those things like do my own paperwork, be more independent, be more responsible. So I do like it. I was saying to him, I'm not sure if I can write it in the formal program documentation, but I loved his description when he's meeting other people. So it does focus on those independent living skills. It does focus on supporting young people as they're transitioning from school into other areas of education and training. And I suppose it's such a special time in, like we're here talking about school leavers, it's such a special time in people's lives and in families' lives as well, when people are making that big jump. So our access services focus on education and training, but also in the independent living, in community inclusion, and I think as well a focus on what health and well-being looks like for people at that age, and really supporting people to find their voice and to use their voice and amplify their voice and talk to us about choices and preferences they have in how they want to study and how they want their career to look. So Skills for Life would be the next step after that. And Skills for Life is funded by Education and Training Boards. So when it's funded by Education and Training Boards, there's always a little bit heavier weighting around career exploration, work experience, placements, and that looking at that next steps to further education and training. What we found as well from like listening to the students and like our programs being informed by young people is a lot of young people spoke to us about Skills for Life and how they really want to embrace digital skills in their learning. So not necessarily that they want to do a computer program, but that they want to show their skills and competencies through using technology. So we really leaned into that. And our Skills for Life programs, I'll show you a little video later on, but it's like people can show us their skills. It's not all about reading and writing. Somebody could be doing a podcast, somebody could be doing a vlog. You know, we have 3D printing where people are showing us like actual physical structures of you know, ideas or concepts that they had. So Skills for Life is a really strong foundation in relation to kind of vocational exploration and looking at your next steps there. And it really helps you as well, I think, in digital literacy, which I think we'll all agree for all ages is really important. And we're also very excited that this year we've really invested a lot of time in looking at AI, and I know we can be a little bit scared about AI, but we also need to look at what the benefits are as well. And it's really important for young adults like that we feel that are coming to National Learning Network that we're supporting them to be like have digital skills literacy, but we also want to focus on that AI fluency as well. So that's kind of introductory foundation skills programs there. And then it depends on what area of the country you're in. So you'll be able to search each of our locations by county and you'll be able to find the programs on offer. But in general, we offer programs like retail skills, catering and hospitality, sports and recreation, horticulture, looking at the arts, performing arts and ArtLink, and then computer programming that includes game design, business studies and IT, and creative media. So a nice mix. There's one program there which I haven't named, and it's called employer-based training. And that's a really interesting one because it really helps if somebody, you might know somebody who's got a really niche interest of an area that they want to work in. And what we can do is we can look and find an employer in that area and work with them to put an individual plan in place where people can train with them 3 days a week and then come back in to the learning environment with us 2 days a week. So it's a really great way to really listen to somebody's needs. If they've got
a full room door.
Sorry, was that a question or was that just a? All right, oh, that's okay, Gina.
Can we just make sure everybody's on mute, please?
That's okay. So, so there's lots of different options, and each centre can talk to you about different options that are available. So each person, each student who joins National Learning Network, they have a team with them, and we talk about the National Learning Network team. So for each student, you will always have an instructor, and they're like your key worker. So you'll have one go-to person, and that's the person that helps plan around your education and training. But they're also the person who might, if they're not supporting you directly with a need, they'll be the person who'll signpost you to who can help you with that need. We have resource teachers as well, and that's for support in relation to literacy and numeracy. We have a rehabilitation officer, which doesn't describe maybe very well what they do. There are student support officers, and they are where our students can do some one-to-one work in relation to whatever is impacting on their ability to engage at that time. So sometimes it's in relation to mental health and well-being. Other times it might be looking at some specific strategies to cope with an exam that's coming up or to manage their health better when they're in their work placement. So really, really different needs, but you can go to your rehabilitation officer, and they're also your advocate as well, that if you find that you have something that you just can't voice for yourself, they may help you to voice it, or they may speak on your behalf with your permission. So a student support officer, everybody has a rehabilitation officer. We are also fortunate that we have chartered psychologists who are linked to all our education and training sites. So they supervise our student support officers, they provide staff training, but sometimes if some of our students have support needs that are a little bit more complex, they may work directly with a psychologist to support in their plan. We obviously, all our centres have a manager, and that's really important to ensure that our services are running well, that they're safe, and that they're person-centred, that they're efficient, and that they're effective. So it's really important that we have management structures in place. We also have advocacy officers that work across the entire organisation to support in bringing the needs of the wider student group forward. And we always say to students that they are welcome to invite anybody who they wanted to be part of their team or part of their plan. We work with 16 to 18-year-olds. We always say when we're working with adults, it is your choice. You are welcome to invite family members, circles of support, maybe somebody who's helped you from a referral agency, but it's always on your terms and what you want to do. So I think that's another thing that's very special, is that all those people are part of your team, and that's the bit when I talked about earlier about important that we have a sense of belonging within our centres. I'm going to share a really short video as well from a young person called Shona who allowed us to share it, because it's just her description of what belonging means in National Learning Network.
Well, it's fundamentally changed my life is one thing. I don't think I'd be where I am right now without it. And it is such a interesting and quite a fun environment to be in at times. Like, again, there's this wonderful sense of community, and it's also providing like an amazing education is one thing I find for me anyway. Like, big part of it for me is being with my community every day.
So I like how Shona describes more than education and training, because I think that's really one of the things that's very important to the National Learning Network. Our students see it's more than education and training. I think more importantly, that sense of belonging, community, and that no need for masking, no need for, we just want everybody to turn up their authentic self when they come to our centres. So I will just move on. So, and how does that happen? I suppose to do something more than just education and training, it's really important that you plan with the person. So it doesn't matter whether it's a HSE funded service or whether it's an education and training board funded services. Our funders ensure that we have person-centred plans or individual plans in place. So that's a really critical part of us planning for success. And I think what we really want to celebrate here is about choice and preference, and that people's voices are amplified and that they're planning on what they want to do, when they want to do it. And our teams and the work that we do is there to be enabling. So they are the mechanisms on how we do that. And I just want to show another example that kind of augments what we're saying about, in addition to education and training, it's just another element. So Tariq has allowed us to share a little snippet as well around his person-centred plan, which supported in education and training and activities of daily living, just in that thing that another student had said to me about adulting. So I just like to share a little clip from Tariq.
Last year we went to Edinburgh. So we went around the airport. We did a Dublin airport trial. I never went to the airport on my own, so it teaches you that from that aspect, like go to security on your own, booking your ticket on your own, getting assistance on your own.
Yes, a little bit more than just education and training. So in National Learning Network, there is lots of different opportunities and there's lots of different environments that you can learn in. You can, of course, learn in our centres. So in all our centres around the country, we have centre-based training. That's just one of our new colleges has opened. I suppose we really do put a lot of emphasis on what our environments look like. We really try to focus on that our internal and our external environment leads to, nice learning environments, nice social environments as well. We also, as well as learning in centre, as I said, we're very much outward looking with our students, and we focus on supporting students to secure work experience placements, which can be just small tasters, it can be up to a few days, it can be up to 2 weeks, to more long-term placements in relation to employer-based training, where perhaps somebody has found a niche employer or they're focusing on a particular area of work that they want, and we can help them to secure placements like 3 days a week for a much longer period of time to get those skills. You can see as well, like in a lot of our online work as well, here's just an example of some of our training programs that we have online. And this is around career preparation, and we have work experience. So it's to get that lovely blend of learning where I can learn in a centre, I can learn online, I can learn out with an employer, I can learn in my community. We just try to open up as many opportunities and avenues to learn as people are going through the journey. We're also quite fortunate as well in that some of our courses, we have lovely simulated industry environments, so fully operating canteens in some places where we offer catering. We have horticulture courses as well, which have beautiful environments to learn in. On a day like today, there's nowhere nicer than being out in some of our horticultural classes. And then we also have been fortunate, we have a national partnership with Mr. Price Branded Bargains, and they've supported us in some of our locations by putting in simulated stores. For some of our students, it was even quite a jump going out to do work experience placement. So this is a lovely pre-employment, pre-transition to an industry way to learn. So we're really appreciative of that support as well that we've got from Mr. Price to do that. And then we do, as an organisation, we are very much committed. I know I talked about it a little bit earlier about digital skills and what that looks like. So in addition to, I suppose, those digital literacy skills and, you know, ensuring that people can use like Microsoft 365, we also want to look at what other ways can people learn. And we've just found that young people have given us feedback on, you know, different tools that they're enjoying using, and we're trying to build them in, but making sure that we're building it in a way that's meaningful and that has an educational experience to it. So I think one of the examples, if maybe there's some parents on the call at the moment or on the webinar at the moment, and your son or daughter may love gaming, and we got some feedback which was, you know, my son or daughter, they're always gaming, but we really lean into, like, let's look at that as a strength. And there's lots of skills that young people have from being gamers and from being in the gaming community. So we worked with a company called Phoenix Group, and we developed a program called Game On. It's about healthy gaming and looking at careers in the esports area, and it's about, you know, managing your health if you're gaming. It is about, you know, professional behavior and etiquette when you're online. And then we also looked at how would we balance that with some fun. So we have some driving simulators as well. We have, you know, we use Minecraft education. So we run some like mini esports event, but while it all is fun, as it should be, learning should be fun, there is lots of transversal skills that students are building up in that, whether it's teamwork, communication skills, learning how to be an events manager. It's also opening up different career areas. So that's just one example of how we use technology, but that it always has a focus on learning. So fun, but with learning, we're really committed to that. We talked about skills for life earlier, which I was saying is kind of introductory skills, young adults who are looking at career exploration and kind of the next steps and when they're defining what that occupational area might be. So what students put together is they wanted to show that they're all in one room and they're all learning similar things, opportunities to show their talents in different ways. Now, these are like very, very impressive. I'm not able to do half of what they're doing here. It's not just about the tools they're using, it's just about showing that we celebrate different ways of learning and different ways of showing our talents. So let me see, can I share that?
Welcome into Skills for Life Level 4. Come on in. Okay, so all I'm doing is I am using Clipchamp and I'm playing a party invitation.
I'm Lewis Robert and I'm learning mindfulness through Minecraft education.
So I'm here just working on my organising my OneDrive, where I put evidence and portfolio in separate folders so they're nicely organised, and shared it with my course coordinator so he can access it whenever he wants to check over my work.
Hi, my name is Adrian and I'm working on the storyboard for the Skills for Life intro video.
Hi, my name is Stephen. I'm currently recording for a podcast using the program Vocal.
Hi, my name is Rachel and I'm just finishing off my presentation on personal effectiveness.
This is Level 4 Skills for Life.
So it shows lots of different ways to show talents in the same area. We don't all have to be the same or show our strengths or show our work in the same way, and I think it looks like there is a lot of very talented early career people there who will be making a big impact in workplaces around the country soon. So it's not just all about learning in the classroom with employers. We also would listen to our students about areas of particular interest to them. This is just an example of some of our students who've got a keen interest in relation to the environment, and they take part in a Clean Oceans Award and are successful and have been successful in getting that award because they're involved in beach cleanups. We have another group of students who are very interested in current affairs and news, and made it their mission to get to Virgin Media News, and there they are doing it. And then some other students who have some musical talents, and they ended up writing some music that won an ETBI competition, and then they got to go to Windmill Studios and do it. So lots of absolutely amazing talent there. That's not just around education and training, and I suppose that learning is not just about that certificate on the wall, and while that's important, I think there's lots of other things that we want to focus on as well in relation to learning. I'm kind of finished up there now. I just want to say to you that you are welcome to come to a National Learning Network Centre at any stage, and this link here will bring you to all our National Learning Network centres around the country. And you are more than welcome to come in there, because nothing beats meeting people. It's fine talking and listening on a webinar, but nothing beats that. And I know we did a webinar before, and some of the teachers and some of the families just asked us about what would that look like when we met you. So it's really simple. So you can just call or email, and you can set up a meeting at a local centre, and you can just call in and talk to the manager or talk to an instructor on a course. But it's nothing formal. Make a call and set up a time that suits you, and we'd be more than happy to talk to you. One of the other things is, like, you will see there's lots of different courses. Some things that other people do is they might sample courses. You might think catering is for you, but when you go in and realize there's a lot of standing in this, it gets very hot here. It's, it may not be for you, but you can come in and sample our courses, and that's a really good way to make up your mind. Like we were saying, it's all about choices and preferences, and that you can make informed decisions. If you want to apply for a course, any of our staff are happy to sit down and help you do that. And I suppose applying for a course in National Learning Network is really about planning for success. It's about us talking and making sure that we are the right space for you, and that it's what you want, and it's what's going to best suit your needs and your choices and preferences as you go forward. So all about planning for your individual success. And then sometimes as well, you'll meet other people on the team if you need to understand more around your strengths or what potential support needs you may have if you were to join National Learning Network. And then it is hopefully at that point, it's about starting a learning journey with us, if we're the right place for you, and if that's something that you want. So when you go to that link on the website, you'll see images like this. So you'll see all our main centres there. So you are more than welcome to contact any of those directly. And if you're not quite sure, if you look at an area and it's not quite right, you don't know which to go to, you can just contact us as well at info@nln.ie, or call our main number, and we will be able to help you find the right person to talk to. So that is me finished. I'm back to Sinead. I think I'll stop sharing, because then I can see.
Thank you very much. I'm just going to stop the recording now.